Folks, what was this couple thinking? I'll explain what I mean and then get into the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending November 19th, 2025. If you want to speak directly with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. The other day, I'm out with friends. One of my friends tells me about a situation that one of his colleagues is in right now. Unfortunately, we see this all the time. This couple was looking to upsize. And they're looking at properties and they see what would to them be their dream home. And they happen to know somebody who knows the sellers. And through conversation, they figure out these sellers are in a situation that perhaps they can take advantage of. And so they decide to put in an offer. And if they get it at that price, which was pretty low for that home in that neighborhood, they would end up buying it. And that's exactly what happened. They put in the offer and yeah, sure, there was some negotiation, but they ended up buying it basically at the price they wanted. And if you were to look it up today, most people would say, hey, that was a pretty good deal. And so the couple is pretty excited about buying their dream home at a great price. So far, happy story. Here's where it turns sideways. They need to sell their home in order to buy that one. But they're already committed to buy their dream home. This couple went out and bought first before selling. There is only one situation where you can buy first risk-free. And this couple who bought are not in that situation. The only situation that allows somebody to buy first before selling is if you don't need the money from your sale in order to buy. You've already have the money in your account. You have access to financing to buy. You don't need to sell your current home in order to close. Are you understanding what I'm saying here? You have the money. You don't need to sell your home to buy. I know I keep repeating this, but it seems there's so many people out there that still don't understand this. This couple bought and now have their home for sale. Price reduction after price reduction, it's still not sold. They're sweating. So maybe it's karma, I don't know. But the good deal that they got in buying, the advantage of those sellers that they took advantage of, they're about to return the favor, it would seem, to whoever buys their home. The only way in this market, if you're looking to upsize or downsize basically, but mostly to upsize, the only safe way to do it, risk-free, is to sell first. That's the only way. If you buy first, and you're like most of the population out there that's upsizing, you need the proceeds, the equity from your sale in order to close on that. So why would you put yourself in a situation where I'm going to buy and then hopefully I sell and I get the money that I want for my sale? That's not a given. So to be safe, specifically in this market, the safest way to go about upsizing is to sell first, then buy. I don't know why so many people have to learn that lesson the hard way. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. And if you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. Now, let's get into the numbers. Here we go, folks. York Region. This show is all about The detached properties in York Region specifically, we're going to be focused on Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham. We're going to break up the data in these neighborhoods for the detached properties. So we're going to start off with Vaughan. For week ending November 19, 19 detached properties were sold. 3 sold at $2 million or more. So what do I think about sales? I'm going to go back to last year. It's not so predominant last year, but it is for a lot of areas. At some point in the fall, sales tend to trend down towards the end of the year. It's very normal in our real estate cycle. It looks like that's what's happening here. We should see fewer and fewer sales. Maybe not every single week, but overall, we should be seeing fewer sales towards the end of the year. And then as we get into the new year, sales pick up again. So 19 were sold. Average sold price is $1,599,000. Like if we take out the really low price here, average sold price, and we take out the really high one and we just ignore those for a second, and I've got everything on this side of the blue line, that's the fall market. Kind of looks like average sold price has been trending up for the fall market. Compared to last year, $1,599,000 is 10% lower than the same week a year ago. The median price of $1,480,000 is 12% lower. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. And when you look at the median 4-week moving average, it's pretty clear that that price has been going up. The average price kind of flat for a while, but also maybe trending up a bit. 19 were sold. Only 2 of those, so 11%. I say 11%, it sounds like it's so much more, but it's really just 2 properties sold at list price or more. We're seeing fewer listings. We're seeing fewer active listings. Active listings are the amount of properties available for sale. In this case, again, we're speaking just about the detached market. So we are seeing fewer, not by much though. And when we look at the sales versus how many are available for sale, 3.2% of all available detached properties for sale in Vaughan actually sold. Think about that number for a second. Of all the detached properties for sale, only 3.2% actually sold. That's actually a very low percentage. Toronto seems to be doing great versus Vaughan. The Toronto detached properties, 6.1% actually sold. And 6.1% is not the highest number we have, and it's not that great to begin with. Vaughan, detached market, it's struggling when only 3.2% are actually selling. Months of inventory, looks like it's climbing. We're now sitting at 7.3 months of inventory. Here's Richmond Hill. 20 detached properties were sold. 4 sold at $2 million or more. 20? That's a pretty big number for Richmond Hill, when for a while we've been seeing sales of 11, 14, 16. Average sold price came way down. We're now at $1,593,000. Look, we could look back just a few weeks and say, yeah, average price is coming down. But the sampling size is not that high, so you're going to see a lot of these peaks and valleys. Overall, prices are down. It's not very clear for which property type. We do more research to figure that out. Average sold price of $1,593 is 19% lower than the same week a year ago. The median price of $1,326 is 26% lower than the same week a year ago. 20 were sold. I could tell you that 20% sold at list price or more. Seems like a lot, but it's only 4. 4 properties sold at list price or more. We're seeing fewer listings. Active listings slowly is trending down. 3.9% of all available properties for sale actually sold. And months of inventory down a bit, sitting at 6 months of inventory. Here's Markham. 16 detached properties sold. 2 of them sold at $2 million or more. Sales seem to be trending down. Last year we didn't see it so much, but they did drop and then up again. So we might have we're in the trend of towards the end of the year. Average sold price over the fall period looks like it's trending up. It's currently sitting at $1,492,000. 1,492 is 9% lower than the same week a year ago. Excuse me, the median price of $1,440,000 is 12% lower. 16 were sold, 4, so a quarter of those, 25%, it's only 4, sold at list price or more. Active listings. We are seeing fewer, although it's up from the previous week, but overall trending down, not aggressively. We're seeing fewer listings. 3.7% of all available detached properties for sale in Markham actually sold. For Richmond Hill, it's 3.9%. Vaughan, it's the lowest at 3.2%. In contrast, compare those to the City of Toronto. City of Toronto is at 6.1% of all detached properties for sale actually selling. Months of inventory for Markham, 6.3. Overall summary, we're in a buyer's market. It's the balanced market would be between 3 to 5 months of inventory. We're above that in each area there. Look, I'm saying that, excuse me, but when I say it's a balanced market, that's a summary of all detached properties in all of Vaughan, all of Richmond Hill, and all of Markham. And I'm saying this more as a warning. You can't just take that and say, well, it doesn't matter what I sell or what I buy. It's a balanced market. Not necessarily, because those are averages. You're going to find situations where there's going to be some competition on properties, and others are an extreme buyer's market. Doesn't matter what you're doing, that property is just going to sit there. So those are the numbers, folks. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.